Hello, and welcome to the Rose Garden. I am your host, Kimberly Ann, and I wanted to get on here and do this video with you guys because I kind of have a message. And I don't know how many of us are possibly going through maybe the same thing that I have kind of been mentally going through, but I feel this message is going to touch somebody. So that is why I'm making this quick video. Not to mention I need to post some more anyway because I haven't posted in a while. But this helps. Okay. So I don't know how many of the lovely rosebuds are part of the rosebud community for the Rose Garden. Oh, and side note, if you haven't already, please click subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Ring my bell so you know when I post. And don't forget to look in the description blocks. Really? The description box below and join the Rose Garden University, RGU. In that university, I have basically taken my 4 to 5 year period of healing, and I have constructed like a university style courses to help you guys get through healing a little faster than I did, because I actually didn't have like anyone to really guide me through what I was going through. Nobody really understood my struggle, understood what I was going through. Some folks did give me really great advice, and then there's some folks who didn't. Unfortunately, I would kind of voice what was going on with me, and no one, I shouldn't say no one, but they would almost turn it into a conversation about themselves. And I was trying to like find people to like talk to and talk to through my struggles. So I hope the Rose Garden becomes a beacon of light to many of you. It has for me, because I literally had to become my own rosebud first in order for me to create the courses for you guys. Okay? So that leads into the message for today. There may be many of you that are at like a threshold or a crossroad of transformation, and it might have you feeling almost like um, you're doing something wrong. You feel a lot of pressure. You feel like maybe you're not going in the right direction. And I am here to tell you that if you're feeling that type of pressure right now at this moment, and you know for sure you've done all you could do, you literally have no other idea what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how it's going to get done. You've literally crossed every T, dotted every I in your brain. Like me, I'm an overthinker. I'm going to think of 50,000 ways to do something. I've had to teach myself how to slow that down over the years, but I have. And unfortunately, today it almost got the best of me. But I started to journal, and that's what helped me get through it. And then the universe started to respond and sending me messages and signs and synchronicities to let me know, like, hey, you're doing just fine. Don't beat yourself up. A conversation from my brother today let me know that I'm doing good. I may not be exactly where I want to be, but I'm doing good. So this message is for you to let you know you may not be exactly where you want to be today, right? You may not be living in that house you want to live in just yet. You may not be in the new city you're thinking about taking you and your children to. Hell, you may not be working at the job you want to be working at. But be grateful for every area of your life that is actually going. You have a job. There are people who don't have one. You have a roof over your head. There are people that don't have one. You have a life. You can walk around. You can move. I told my brother today that I changed the way that I pray. And I told him that I don't pray to ask, I pray to give gratitude, to give thanks. Because if the desire is in you already, it's already done. God want to put it there for you. So that's my message to any lady that may have woken up today, because I know there's a lot of planetary alignments and stuff right now. So all of us is going to be overthinking, rethinking things. I think Saturn's in retrograde or something like that. Don't get me to telling the story, but I really do think it's in retrograde. So we're going to be going over and over where we can do better at, what we didn't do good at, what we may have did 5 years ago that we should have did better at and wouldn't be where we are today. Don't beat yourself up. Don't do it. Life's too short, okay? You're doing a good job. Your kids aren't in jail. You aren't in jail. You have a job still. You have a roof. You have a car. You're doing good. Not all the bills may be paid. Fuck them. My mentor said in one of her videos, thank the debt because it was there when you needed it and you was able to use it. And I said, you know what? I never looked at it like that. Like, thank it for being there when I needed it to you. Man, listen. I started thinking every bit of debt I got, baby. Do you understand? I started thinking all of it. And I started feeling happier and happier about that debt because I thought about it like, you know what, that is absolutely right. And it's so funny when I thought back to every time I've gotten a new credit card or a firm or anything of those natures. I said, oh my God, they all did come right when I least expected it. Like the pre-approval letter. Get the card. Card come on the day you needed some groceries. Yeah, I almost swiped that mother. So I had to start looking at it that way. The house I'm in, yeah, there's a couple things that's not too good. And what I did yesterday, which is so funny because my dad was fixing the sash. It was yesterday. It may have been last week actually, right before I started work. I started to give thanks for the home that we're in and for it giving. Yep, it was last week before work, and I was thanking it for being a beautiful, safe haven for me and my children. After we transitioned from me leaving my ex-husband into now bringing in a new baby while I was here, and it just being an amazing home for us and shielding us from things. I mean, a tornado blew right through our yard, and we were unscathed. The house next door lost shingles. We were unscathed. I actually was outside looking dead at it, didn't even know. Ran into the house and was safe. So I had to start teaching myself how to be grateful, but not just for what I have, but for the season that I'm in. And that's what you have to start doing when you feel that pressure because your spirit may have you in a moment of stillness and you feel that pressure of, okay, it's something I need to be doing. I got to be doing something because if I'm not doing something then I'm not progressing. And you starting to freak out and panic, don't do it to yourself. You're not failing. You're not falling behind. You're not even skipping to the front. You're right where you need to be. And you need to be grateful for being right where you need to be. Right where you are. Like, I literally had to thank Spirit because I thought about all the moments things could have went left, especially at my job, especially with my children's fathers. Like I had a moment I could have been in jail. You know what I'm saying? So I could have went totally bankrupt from decisions that I made in 2024, and I'm not as bad as I was years like 5 years ago. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes we could be our own worst critics, and sometimes we under pressure, crack under pressure that's not even really there. We putting ourselves under pressure that don't exist. And because our soul is transitioning much faster than our physical bodies. And it can be heavy. I know that feeling. Like I felt, like I said, I felt it today after I had went to the grocery store with my oldest daughter and got home. I cooked, and baby, when I say I threw down in that kitchen, that food was good. It was good. I was like, I gotta fix that again. It was good. And I came into my bedroom. I wanted to sit up because I had to be to work at 3. So there was a part of me that kind of wanted to sit up and just, tap away on the computer. I'm always looking for some type of solution. It just never fails. I'm looking for, okay, what can I do next? I need to be able to get money here. I need to be able to do it. And I gotta stop. Like, you said stop. Don't do it. Okay. We are not supposed to be ripping and running like masculine. We're not supposed to be ripping and running like men. We're not. We're supposed to be able to rest in our feminine energy and know that God got us, okay? It's already aligned in the stars. Nothing can stop it. Not even you, really. You can delay it, yeah, but you'll delay it more by what I gotta do next? What I gotta do next? Sometimes the next is nothing. The next is just wait and see. Sometimes the next is just wait and see. Okay. So I am about to post another course under Rose Garden University. This will be transitions or, yeah, transitions. Um, it'll be course 300. Yeah, course 300, something like that. um, because the pressure of transition, I have seen it break people. And I didn't understand exactly what they were going through when they were going through it. My dad was one of them, going through midlife crisis, and he just felt like he had to do something to make himself feel important. And I watched him blow $300,000 on a business that went absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. He literally put the man's son through school, who then the boy turned around and died. Then he committed suicide or something like that. But um, I'm creating that course especially for single moms because we can feel that pressure and it could cause us to self sabotage. I have done it where I'm like, okay, it's too quiet, it's too still, it's something I need to be doing, and you mess around and then walk into some damn chaos because you went out here looking for, okay, why is it just like, what am I? Today at work, I walked in and my boss, and I think this was really a warning call for me. I'm not even gonna hold you. My boss said, "Hey, remember when the young lady lunged at you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "All the staff over there wrote statements on you." I'm like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, they said you was unprofessional, this, that, and the other." I said, "Are you serious?" And she lunged at me. And not to mention, I walked into a situation I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know that my coworker had rejected her. We call them kites. I'm like, I didn't know she rejected that. I was answering a phone call. So here I am. I done got lunged at, called out my name, called several different names, and now wrote up by the staff because you couldn't control your kid. I said, wow. Talk about unappreciated. And in that moment, I almost got mad. I was a little frustrated, but I said, you know what? I said, hey, what do you guys want me to do in the event that happens again next time? Because I'm about to stop coming up with solutions for a job that clearly, even if I come when I'm not even the problem. I was trying to be the solution. She said, so I said to her, if they cussing and busting at us like they doing, what are we supposed to do? Because here, one minute we told we got to medicate them, we got to do whatever. Next minute we ain't cussed out, and now I'm getting rolled up. She said, you have the right to say to the DO, I don't feel safe and I want to leave. I said, oh. I said, with the pills? She said, oh yeah, with the pills. You don't have to give her anything. You can walk right out. I said, that's all I needed to hear. It's going to be a lot of kids mad because I'm going to walk out. I said, and I actually like that better. God was teaching me in that moment, do less. Do less. You don't have to do the most to feel important. You don't have to go save nobody if they don't want to be saved. Do less. I said, I get it now. So I ended up being by myself after about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Actually, before that, let's take it back. My boss like, I need you here because I'm be gone for 10 days. Da, 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 da. And I started the old me would have said, well, while you're gone, is there anything you need for me to do? Like, do you need me to be the go-to for? And I started to do that because in the past when we had our old boss, certain nurses would take on that responsibility of almost being like the acting HSA. I did not offer. I'm cool. I'm not doing it. I didn't. I said, I'm going to come in here, be this LPN, get this free money, and relax. That's what I'm going to do. And after she left, absolutely nothing popped off. A couple kids called, things like that. Say, hey, please write a will path, put it in the box. I relaxed. I relaxed. I'm not about to keep doing the most. Like I've literally had to come to peace with surrendering to stillness. How many of you can honestly say you can surrender to stillness? In a society that has conditioned us to hustle, bustle, work more, do the most, look the best, like we're in a society that does not cherish stillness, but our souls, situations, relationships show us that it's in our stillness that we are blessed. I don't know if y'all remember nope, it's actually in FGU, one of the recordings, and I talked about how I was having a moment where I was just like frazzled, and I said, you know what? I'm taking a nap. And I went to sleep, and I was awakened 2 hours later by a phone call from Hilton Grand Vacations. And they upgraded my room for my trip to Vegas. When I originally set that trip up, I originally wanted to take my kids. They said they didn't have any rooms. They was only able to put me at the Trump Tower in a king bedroom suite, one bed suite. And I was like, I guess I'll just have to take it and I'll just have to rock this one out solo because I need to go to Vegas because I'm going to a retreat. So I'm going to just have to go solo like I did the first time I went to Vegas. And I was in my heart, I was like, I really wanted to take my kids the next time I go. I didn't want to go without them the next time. So instead of stressing or any of that, I just went ahead and booked it as is. Took the Trump Towers. I ran into a nice white guy who said, hey, the Trump Towers are actually really nice. But then when that day that I was stressing, and the crazy part, I don't even remember what I was stressing about. It wasn't even about the trip. I do not remember what I stressed about, but clearly it is of no importance because I went to sleep and woke up with a whole nother agenda. After I got off the phone with that lady about the trip, then I ended up running to the airport and I got my children's plane tickets to Vegas for 150 apiece. I did not have the actual money. I was going to use my Affirm because I had some money left in that. I couldn't even use Affirm when I got there. I utilized, so there's a thing, if you're a Navy Federal customer, you know about Oops. Oops come in handy when you ain't got no money. And I had enough Oops to buy my kids plane tickets. You hear me? And I did it. And I got my kids plane tickets. Mind you, I just purchased my plane ticket the day before. And then I got the call. But it worked out. The next day I looked at those same plane tickets. Do you know they went from 150 to 250 in 24 hours? That is how being still, God can bless you when you get out the way and you relax. Now imagine if I had kept fussing and bussing and was up stressing my brain out when my body wanted to rest. My body said, you need to sleep. My body was like, rest. I'm talking about I was just, and then I would doze and then I would doze. I said, let me just go ahead and go to sleep. And I ended up being able to take my babies to Vegas. It's gonna work out. Don't stress. Don't apply extra pressure than what is already applied to you. Don't do it. Find your peace in the stillness. Take a nap, journal. Like I journaled today heavy because I just was feeling a little bit of financial pressure. So I journaled. And I'm glad I did because I don't feel that pressure anymore. Now, has anything come of it? Nothing so far, but that don't mean it's not coming. But the fact that I don't feel that pressure and I didn't stress to relieve myself, you know, a lot of us think we got to stress and hustle harder to get relief. No, we don't have to do that. Technically, when the pressure feels the greatest, it's time to get your hand off the valve. It's time to get your hand off the valve. Loosen up some of the pressure. Don't apply extra pressure that's not even needed. I'm ashy. But that's the end of my spiel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit, oh, cute motorcycle couple. I know it's a bit different than my normal setup. I'm beat, camera usually sitting up high. I got it sitting in front of my Il Maquillage shipment I just got. My little light down there. So y'all can at least see me because you know I'm always doing something in my bedroom. And like I said, I'm gonna try to keep up with these videos. Try to post once a week, preferably on Mondays, my moon days. Um, and definitely try to keep building on RGU. Like I said, hit subscribe. Right now, you get a 7-day free trial. After that, they charge you $10 a month. As the community grows, I'll start doing a lot more activity. But in the meantime, I want people to get in there, get into those courses, and I hope it helps you in some shape, form, or fashion to heal, especially a little bit faster and easier. And I don't really want to say, I shouldn't say faster, but a little easier than it was for me to heal. I peeled back so many layers of the onion, and it took me like I said, a course of 4 to 5 years to get just to this point, and I still don't even feel like I'm at 100%, which you'll kind of never be 100% healed, but I still feel there's more that meets the eye to my healing. And that's not in a bad way, like I'm peeling back trauma. It's more like, okay, you've gotten a lot of the bad parts off. You know how an onion is bad? And you could see it's kind of bad on one part, but as you peel the layers and you get into it, you get to the good part of the onion. That is where I am now. I've peeled off so much bad stuff that now I'm relearning this fresher, cleaner version of myself. And that within itself is pressure when you have to learn how to be you without trauma. That people don't tell you about that part of healing. They do not tell you, yeah, you got through the chaos and the fighting and the drama and trauma, but they don't tell you how hard it is to really sit with yourself when you are at peace and all you know is to get up and go. All you know is to hustle nonstop. They don't tell you that. People don't tell you that. And now might be another course. We'll see. Actually, it is. It's a transformation course. So, like I said, I'm working on that one right now. I'll post that one probably by the end of the week. Hopefully, if not by Monday for sure. But yeah, be still, relax. You're in a good place. As long as you have a job, a car, a roof over your heads, a little bit of food in that refrigerator. Because nowadays in these grocery stores, baby, you can't stack up on food like you used to. The mess go bad fast. But be happy where you are. Show gratitude. I'm gonna give you some homework before I end this video, and I want you to every morning find 5 things you can be grateful for. If you cannot find 5 things at the time you wake up, then I need you to spend all day looking for stuff to be grateful for. And if you do find those 5 things first thing in the morning, say if you say, I'm grateful for my peace. Oh, I got a bump right here and it feel like I hit my head. You can say I'm grateful for peace. I'm grateful for love. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for da 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 da, right? I want you to look for signs of what you're grateful for. So if you say I'm grateful for peace and about 12 o'clock, where it's usually a line to your favorite food spot and there's not, say I'm grateful for this peace. I get to walk straight to the counter. I get to be straight big bag. You know what I'm saying? Find the good thing. I told my brother that too. You need to, once you say I'm grateful for something, find reasons that gratefulness, allow your reticular activating system. I think I said it right. Make it find what you're grateful for. Make it find it. Because if you think negative, it's going to look for the negative anyway. So why not make it look for the positive? So then eventually it'll get used to always looking for the positive. And that's what I keep doing. So, like, I used to crash out. I shouldn't even say crash out because I wasn't that bad. But then again, I probably was when I was stressed. Now I journal. I journal. I do the opposite. Like, I don't be like, oh my God, somebody asking me for money, or I got to pay this rent and pay that. I say, you know what? I'm so grateful that I have the ability to pay the rent. I'm so grateful for this home that I have to pay rent for. This, that, and the other. Even though I'll be mad than a fuck, then I gotta pay, but I still like I'm just saying, y'all. So hit subscribe, hit like, ring that bell. Okay, join RGU. Description. The link to the Skool course is in the description box below. Don't forget to tap in with that. You get a 7-day free trial right now. And I want us to grow this community because I know there's so many of us, black and brown single mamas, especially in urban areas. I live in an urban area. I live in the inner city of Cleveland, and it's not always easy. And then it's not easy to survive with kids as it is financially, but to be able to survive mentally, spiritually, and live in your feminine energy, that's even harder. And that's a lot of pressure. So I'm hoping that I am here to help lighten that load for a couple women. I hope I can do that. If I touch one woman by the time I transition to my next project, I'll be happy. But this one I think I'm going to stick with for a little while so I can hopefully touch at least 10. We'll see. But it was good talking to y'all. Next time I'll try to do something with myself. I know I look a little rough, but it's okay. I still feel cute. And I will see you lovely laters. Laters. Lovely rosebuds later. Bye.